This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, a tropical storm watch has been issued for the Northwest Bahamas, which means that tropical storm conditions can be experienced within the next 48 hours. Now at 5 p.m., Erika was located at 650 miles to the southeast of the extreme Northwest Bahamas, moving west at 21 miles per hour with maximum sustained winds at 50 miles per hour with higher gusts. Erika is expected to make a turn toward the west, northwest, or northwest tonight. The storm is expected to weaken as it moves over Hispaniola. Residents in the Northwest Bahamas should continue to monitor the progress of the system closely and, of course, stay tuned to the ZNS network for the latest updates on this storm. Well, meantime, the Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, taking a delegation on a tour of 2 shelters here on the island. The tour began in the Western District at the 8 Mile Walk High School. Darville says the shelter is adequately equipped, and he is satisfied that all of the provisions have been made for residents who may need to evacuate in that area.
Many years. Behind us, you will see that all the generators are in place. The waters will be here shortly. And alerts have been given to the community to begin to prepare. We are very concerned about this particular storm because flooding is a real issue. And as we are aware here in 8 Mile Walk, there's some low-lying areas as well as some areas that may not be possible in the storm. We're also sending a message out to the community, particularly those individuals who may be in a situation where they need access to medication. An alert was made a while ago from the drug prescription plan that those individuals who may be low in medication to seek support at the various clinics or even at the Rand Memorial Hospital to make sure that they have access to their medication.
Representatives of local government and the Department of Social Services were also on hand for that tour. Assistant Director of Social Services, Paula Marshall.
When a hurricane is approaching, we immediately get ready to get the shelters going. And so what we've been doing is working along with NEMA, making sure the hardware that is needed for the shelters are in place, such as the generators, the cots, the utensils, the other things that we need, the blankets, the flashlights, and everything else. We, in the meantime, also are trying to organize basic food supplies for the shelters. And that includes very basic things. So we really want people to know that they have to bring their own supplies to the shelters. We are hoping that the stay in the shelter would only be as necessary as long as the storm is with us. And so, of course, after that, our job is to assist persons to get back to their normal activity as quickly as possible.
Well, a tour was also conducted at the Jack Hayward School Gymnasium, which will also be used as a shelter. Representatives there say that they are also prepared to take on the impending storm. And as the storm continues to make its way towards the Northwest Bahamas, essential services are also fine-tuning their emergency plans. Tonight, Sabrina Brown takes a look at how the Grand Bahama Power Company is preparing for Erika.
As forecasters keep an eye on Tropical Storm Erika, the Grand Bahama Power Company is also closely monitoring the system. Acting Director of Health, Safety and Environment, Nikita Mulling, says the power company always has a contingency plan in place and they are storm ready.
Our pre-storm event actually begins well in advance to the June 1st hurricane season. What we do is we ensure that our inventory levels are hurricane ready, based on past experiences and industry standards. We also have resources in place in the event that we need to reach out to other jurisdictions for resources or support.
But the power company's most critical period is during a storm.
We have employees that have been identified as our emergency response team. These employees actually leave the homes of their families and they ride out the storm at our facilities. This is very important because we want to ensure that as soon as it is safe to do so, our employees are able to begin the restoration process. As soon as the winds die down, we have another set of employees that do report back to work. These employees go out and they assess for any damage of our infrastructure.
The safety of staff and members of the public is also a priority for the power company.
We urge our customers to remain indoors during the storm and also immediately after the storm. It's most importantly immediately after the storm because we don't want customers hindering or slowing down our restoration efforts process. Also, we know they want to get out and explore after the storm and see what's happened. However, there may be down power lines, there may be down poles, there may be trees within power lines, and if this is the case, we want customers to treat everything always as live and energized.
Mulling says the company also has an effective emergency communication plan in place. Director of Resource Management and Stakeholder Relations, Filcher Grant, says rumors about the power company having a planned power shutdown for the weekend are not true.
We allow our system to do exactly what it was built to do, which was to protect itself. As long as we can safely and reliably generate power, we will allow the system to stay on. Now, I want people to understand that as the system starts to take off and we lose power, we're not going to be able to restore power to those residents that lose power. But as long as the system can protect itself and we're not damaging the integrity of the system, we're going to continue to generate power. Now, we understand that each storm is unique and each storm is different, so of course we have to be able to readjust our plan to according with this storm, but that is not a part of our processes to just have a time when we shut power off to the entire island.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Well, the National Emergency Management Agency prepping hurricane supplies to be distributed to the various shelters. Manager of the NEMA warehouse, Tammy Mitchell, says that they are final stages of prepping supplies for the Department of Social Services, and she's emphasizing the point that this is a place for individuals to line up for supplies.
We have a system in place where everything is being checked, recounted, and double checked, and then we'll also have persons signing the items out. I want to point out that this is not a warehouse where we can supply inventory to persons on the island of Grand Bahama. This is for emergency purposes only, and it's designated for the shelters themselves. If there is an event where something drastically happens, there's still protocols that we would have to go to in terms of persons having their homes inspected by the proper authorities before any assistance can be rendered to them through the National Emergency Management Agency.
Now, recent weather reports have shown Erika to have veered to the west slightly, and Mitchell says persons are now taking this as an excuse to become relaxed.
I want to remind persons that it is actually a tropical storm. There's no guarantee where it's headed or when it's headed our way. We just want to remind persons to continue to be prepared and continue to stay tuned to the Department of Meteorology, who will be the official persons giving out any kind of weather reports for the islands of the Bahamas.
Well, a number of entities have come together to ensure that the island of Grand Bahama and the Northern Bahamas is fully prepared for the approaching tropical storm. The storm is currently projected to become a Category 1 hurricane as it passes through the Central Bahamas. Senior Assistant Hospital Administrator Sharon Saint says that the Grand Bahama Health Services has been conducting meetings and necessary plans are in place. LT Commander Omar Saunders of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force says that there are presently 34 Marines throughout Grand Bahama, Bimini, and Abaco ready to assist all government agencies.
The Northern Bahamas is no stranger to storms. Chief Meteorologist Kirk James says preparation is key for the long weekend ahead.
We're looking for this to significantly affect us, let's say Sunday, Monday, and possibly into Tuesday. So as of now, people should be paying close attention to the news items on it. Make sure you get your goods. NEMA, there's been a lot of public service advisories on, the shelters and what you need to carry, and the goods, the canned goods, waters to stock up on, loose debris.
James says that the tropical storm should not be taken lightly, as it can easily develop into a hurricane.
We've had enough experience with storms on Grand Bahama to not take these things, to not be complacent and take them lightly. These cyclones are to be taken seriously because in the situation with Erika, the environment is presently in is not a friendly environment, so therefore you see that storm down there struggling. It's been 40 miles an hour, then it went to 45, it went to 50 today, then it went back down to 45. So it's really having a hard time due to wind shear in particular. But the predictions are when it gets into Bahamian waters, if it survives down there and make it into Bahamian waters, the environment is much friendlier and conducive to intensification.
Express Food Mart owner Shauna Taylor says when they were made aware of Erika, they immediately began stocking their shelves with storm necessities.
We were in, that mood to get ready with our canned supplies, our sternos, bread basket items, and, you name it, that, the us Bahamians would be ready because, in Grand Bahama, we have to be ready and prepared because of, what we've endured before.
Over at Solomon's, assistant manager Ann Smith Lightbourne says the store has an extended inventory during storm season.
We are fully stocked. We have all your necessary needs that you need. Our canned goods like the tuna, we have spaghettis, we have all the flashlight and batteries. We are fully stocked. We are fully stocked on water also, and we also have backup waiting to come in, inventory for us to be fully supplied with water also. Prepare before time, as soon as we see hurricane season comes in, we should have all our supplies that we need before then.
As Tropical Storm Erika is set to make her way to the northern Bahamas this weekend, local stores and island administrators are advising the general public to take the necessary precautions as soon as possible. Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The late Sir Albert Miller will have a full military service at the Pro-Cathedral of Christ the King Church on Saturday. Sir Albert Miller's body was viewed by his family and dignitaries today at the Gerald A. Bartlett complex that started at 9 a.m. Friday morning. At the viewing, there were many who reflected on his life and his legacy, including the nation's leader. Natalia Hall has this story.
It was a sad occasion as the family of Sir Albert Miller, the nation's leader, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, government officials, members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and the general public paid their respects to the late Sir Albert Miller, remembered as a man who has contributed to the island of Grand Bahama tremendously. The nation's leader says his life has typified greatness, and his achievements is too powerful not to have it be used as an inspiration for the younger generation.
A life that is clearly indicative of accepting every challenge and overcoming every challenge. And that old proverbial saying of, I have walked with kings, but kept the common touch. He was a king, but he was also a common man.
Prime Minister Christie says he is thankful that the Royal Bahamas Police Force has chosen to lay his body in his first chosen profession.
I am so happy that the police force, Commissioner of Police and his colleagues, with your support and consent, have allowed him to be seen in this setting. Because this was his first love, his chosen profession.
Among the many in attendance was Minister Fred Mitchell and Minister Michael Darville.
I depended on him, particularly in the absence of my parents, for advice, counsel, quiet time, and I always appreciated it.
The Bahamas has lost a great son. I knew Sir Albert for many, many years, and becoming Minister for Grand Bahama, he was a very close mentor to me. Over the period of his illness, I've had the opportunity to speak with him many times as it relates to issues affecting Grand Bahama. So as my position as Minister, his contribution has been tremendous.
Former Ambassador and Parliamentarian Maurice Moore reflected on his life.
I am pleased to have had the opportunity to work in Freeport from its very beginning, and to have someone like Sir Albert as one of the pillars in the building of Freeport. He's done a great job, and we're going to miss him. His presence is already felt. The missing of his presence is being felt now.
The program concluded with the Royal Bahamas Police Force performing several drill commands. Sir Albert Joel Miller will be laid to rest at the Pro Cathedral of Christ the King at 11 a.m. on Saturday. It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Well, the Commissioner of Police, Allison, Greenslade, a part of Sir Albert's viewing today. Sir Albert became a member of the Royal Bahamas Police Force in his early years, which he had a deep love for. Greenslade says he did not meet Sir Albert in the force, but he met his legacy of integrity, courage, strength, generosity, hospitality, and a man who cared about the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Sir Albert was a trailblazer. His record is unblemished. I, as Commissioner, have had a chance to read through his file. I could not find a single line that said anything about him other than how distinguished he was, and that wherever he traveled across the globe, he brought great service to the Royal Bahamas Police Force and to the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Well, the deputy leader of the FNM, Peter Turnquest, says Sir Albert was a man who was actively involved in many organizations on this island.
A member of Rotary Club, a member of his church, and a very active member. He has contributed to the education of so many young people, and I believe that his legacy will go down as one who is a true patriot, a true citizen of this country, and one that loved Grand Bahama almost as much as his native Long Island.
And now it's time to ask the doctor.
Hi, I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Owen asks, nearly everyone in my family, including myself, are obese. After seeing what diseases and health issues related to obesity did to my now deceased mother, I desperately want to make a change. How can I lose the weight and keep it off? Owen, thank you for such an interesting question that affects thousands of Bahamians. Obesity is a complex disorder that involves having an excessive amount of body fat, and it isn't just a cosmetic concern. Like you mentioned, Owen, obesity does increase your risk of diseases and health problems, such as heart disease, diabetes, strokes, osteoarthritis, some cancers, and high blood pressure. Also, if you have an apple shape in which most of the fat is concentrated around the abdominal area, you are even at a higher risk of health complications compared to someone who has a pear shape, where most of the fat is around the hips. Obesity is diagnosed when your body mass index is 30 or higher, which is calculated by dividing your weight in kilograms by your height in meters squared. Although there are genetic, behavioral, and hormonal influences on body weight, obesity occurs when more calories are taken in than is burnt through exercise and your normal daily activities. You may find it difficult to lose weight on your own, so please seek advice from a doctor to help you achieve your weight loss goals. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
See you, that's Ricardo Lightborn as a check on sports when we return.
Everybody, and welcome to Sports. I'm Ricardo Lightborn. This one goes out to my good friend D. McIntosh from Grand Key CD, celebrating with Brooks as far as his birthday and his boys yesterday. But he forgot that this is lobster season. He's supposed to be diving lobster in Udine and Freeport celebrating. Anyhow, I can leave that right where it is. Well, the IAAF World Championship in Beijing, China, the high jumpers win competition earlier today. Trevor Barry advancing to the finals, clearing 2.29 meters, and that's the season best for him. Donald Thomas also making the finals. He cleared 2.29 meters, and he looked pretty smooth going through the prelims. Ryan Ingram cleared 2.26 meters and failed to advance, and the final is going to be held tomorrow. Now, the qualifying, the ladies and the men's 4x400 meter relays will actually take place tomorrow as well. You've got the ladies will be in heat 2 and run in lane 6, and the top 3 will move into the finals, and the fastest 2 will go with that. As far as men, they will be in heat 1 and be in lane 6. Top 3 teams advancing, and the fastest 2 will go there as well. Team Bahamas with 2 medals so far, and that is Sharnae Miller, silver in the women's 400 meters, and Jeffrey Gibson secured that bronze in the men's 400 meter hurdles. And our athletes are just about almost done. They'll be home very soon. Sherman Tank Williams will step into the ring tonight against Christian Hammer Koken, and guess what? He's going to be actually taking that fight to Romania. He's over there right now, but he had these words for his fans.
All my Facebook fan page, stay posted. There's a lot of big things going on and a lot of good things to come. Log on to my fan page, post comments, and look at pictures and look at these excruciating workouts. And to all of my kids and my guardian kids and my mentor kids, stay positive. Remember to keep Christ first, and everything will fall into place. Peace.
Way to go, Kid Tank has 52 fights, and also he's got 37 wins, 21 by KO, 11 losses, and also he's got 2 draws and no contest. Well, let me tell you that our 4-member under-12 tennis team, folks, is in Curacao competing in the ITF Caribbean Acotec Championship. As far as the girls, they played Trinidad and Tobago, and Emma Ouija had a good one going. She won 6-4 and 7-5, and also Perjay Major also winning as well, 6-3 and 1, and our girls also defeating Curacao #1 team. Emma also looking very good again, 6-3, 7-5, and Major with a 6-love and 1 win as well. As far as the boys, Daniel Nottage lost to John Clement 6-5-1 and 7-3. As far as Mr. Burrows, he's looking very well, going strong, and also as far as Aruba, they also had a good one going. They won there as well, 4-0, 4-0, and also Burrows Jr. 4-2, 2-4, 10-8. The girls are going to play Aruba tomorrow for that 3rd spot, and the boys are going to play Bermuda for the 5th spot. They'll be coming back to you guys and us on Sunday. And don't forget also NFL preseason. I got quite a few games going to be playing, and those Sardines are going to play tomorrow. I feel for you Dolphin fans. That's a look at sports on your Friday.